I am going to, oh, no.
This is really full. Why did you have to fill this up?
Shit, I don't like this.
Holy shit. Now I'm starting to feel a major wave of anxiety. Oh.
Hey, everybody. Good morning. It's Mel. How are you? I'm going to give everybody a second to come in. I've got a really cool thing that we're going to do together today. A couple days ago, I posted, can't even remember what I posted about anxiety, but I asked you to submit questions about anxiety. And we received literally thousands of questions from you. They were amazing that you wanted me to dig into related to anxiety. And there were a lot of questions that you had about nervous system regulation. I have come to believe personally that the key to really getting control of anxiety, stress, worried thoughts is to change from the inside out. That nervous system dysregulation and learning how to regulate your nervous system is the key to learning how to calm, control, quiet, and in some cases, in my case, cure the generalized anxiety that you've struggled with. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Mel Robbins. I'm the international best-selling author of The 5-Second Rule, New York Times bestseller of The High Five Habit. And I struggled with anxiety for 30 years. I took Zoloft for 20 years. None of what I'm about to share with you is medical advice or therapy advice. I am just a woman on a mission to figure out how to live the healthiest, most joy-filled and amazing life. And I'm sharing everything that I'm learning and overcoming with you in the hopes that I can save you some of the heartache and the headache that I have caused myself because I didn't know any better. And today what I'm going to do is I am going to walk you through step by step how I am using cold exposure therapy or polar plunges or ice baths to learn how to heal a dysregulated nervous system. And so what we're going to do is we are going to invite you to ask questions. I'm going to teach a little bit, and then I am going to walk you through, and you're going to see me live as I climb into a barrel of 34-degree water. There's my husband, Christopher Robbins. I'm going to climb into this barrel of 34-degree water, and you're going to watch me go from a state of high stress, high anxiety, high panic in my body, and I'm going to breathe myself from the inside out. I'm going to calm my nervous system. And so if you have questions about anxiety, does it really work? Yes, it works. You see, when you are somebody that feels waves of anxiety, there are two things going on. Number one, when you feel a wave of anxiety, how many of you feel waves of anxiety, or you have somebody that you love who feels waves of anxiety, right? A wave of anxiety is just your nervous system sounding an internal alarm. That's what a wave of anxiety is. Your nervous system believes that something around you requires you to pay close attention. When that wave of anxiety hits, there's a number of physiological things that happen in your body. Namely, all of the blood gets pulled from all over your body and goes to your major organs. Your thoughts start to hyperfocus. Your heart starts to race. Your stomach starts to get, in knots. And that's all just a chemical and physiological response to the fact that your nervous system thinks that there's something going on that requires you to pay attention. Now, the problem for me when I was really struggling with anxiety is the second that I felt a wave of anxiety, so many of my thoughts would start to spin. And because my body was feeling this wave of anxiety, this fight or flight feeling, my thoughts would start to go, oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, no, I don't like this. And because my thoughts would start to spin, the wave would get more intense and the wave would start to crash more and more. And so there are two things that I'm going to teach you today. Number one, When a wave of anxiety hits, I want you to understand your body is just starting to go into a default mode. This is called your sympathetic nervous system. You have two nervous systems, your sympathetic and your parasympathetic. Sympathetic is fight or flight. It's the, oh my gosh, it's the wave. It's normal to feel waves of anxiety, everybody. It's normal to wake up and feel anxious. It's normal to feel a wave of anxiety after you've been drinking. It's normal to feel a wave of anxiety if you're walking to work and you hate your job. It's normal to feel a wave of anxiety if you're walking into a restaurant and you're about to meet somebody that you don't feel really emotionally safe with. Your body and your nervous system is sounding an alarm. Pay attention. Doesn't mean danger, just means pay attention. Anxiety becomes a real problem, and you're hanging out with a woman who struggled with anxiety for 30 years. Anxiety becomes a problem when that wave, which is normal, sounding the alarm, pay attention, signals your mind to start racing, okay? And so, number one, I don't want you to freak out when you feel a wave of anxiety. Go, oh, don't say I am anxious or I have anxiety. Say, oh, I feel a wave of anxiety. When you label it as a wave of anxiety, you can now distance yourself from it, and you can now manage riding the wave. Because what happens with all waves, everybody? They go up, and then they come down. Everything that goes up eventually comes down. And so when I see those of you in the comments going, yep, every single day at work, Mel, I'm feeling a wave of anxiety, there's something up at that job that's making your nervous system go, pay attention. Pay attention. And so that's why you feel on edge. That's why you're like, ah. Now, the second thing you're going to learn today is you're going to learn that once you label, oh, I feel a wave of anxiety. Okay. I just want you to say, label, I feel a wave of anxiety. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to control your thoughts. And you can control your thoughts through your breathing. Okay. I'm going to teach you, you're going to breathe in for 8 seconds and out of your nose. Okay. Now, I'm going to invite you guys to please ask questions because I am about to climb into this ice barrel. I see questions about how am I able to deal with it without medication? Well, that was a process. I will make another video about that. And everything, again, everybody, that I'm about to show you, this is not medical advice. I am not a therapist. I'm not a licensed doctor. I am a woman who struggled with anxiety for 30 years. And using the 5-second rule to get control of my thoughts by interrupting them. YOLO. And by learning a lot about my nervous system and learning how to recognize a wave of anxiety and not let my mind freak me out when it happens. Not escalating it with my thoughts. That was step number 1. And step number 2 was using lots of different techniques to be able to recognize when I go from a state of feeling on edge and stressed out and fight or flight and feeling that wave to being able to breathe myself and soothe myself into a state of being calm, quiet, confident. You can see me putting my hand on my chest right here, the vagus nerve. This is the on-off switch between your anxious and your, I'm looking for something to show you, your anxious and your fight or flight, and your calm, cool. I write about this extensively, by the way, in the High Five Habit, which I've read for free on our YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com/Mel Robbins and you can find all of our videos. But today I'm going to show you what I do with the cold plunge because you guys have had so many questions about it. And we're going to be doing a lot more content about this because I don't think it's possible to truly love and enjoy your life if you feel like at any moment anxiety is going to hijack you and ruin your life. And that was me for 30 years. And I finally started taking control of my thoughts. And then I learned how to take control of my nervous system. Now, here is Chris. Let me tell you what's making me nervous. Chris is actually in a vest and a hat. Is it that cold today?
Well, I don't know how long we're going on here, but I'm going to be warm.
Okay. So you guys can ask videos. I'm about to go into a ice cold barrel. Now, first of all, does anybody have any questions about why cold exposure has been helpful for me for anxiety? And by the way, cold exposure can be taking a shower every morning and then finishing your shower by turning the water to the cold setting and standing there for 15 seconds and then 30 seconds and then a minute. Cold exposure could mean climbing into the ocean or a lake when it's really cold, or a river where it's really cold. Cold exposure, guys, could mean pouring your bathtub full of just cold water and then climbing in it. And the reason why I do cold exposure, I was introduced to it.
It could also be without water. You could just
sit in the snow.
You could strip down and be standing out in very cold temperatures.
And so why do you do this? Well, Chris and I got interested in this because we kept seeing the Wim Hof videos, the dude that's always sitting in the snow with the beard and the cool accent. So we took a workshop. Chris is a certified yoga instructor. He's a Buddhist meditation instructor. He's a soon-to-be death doula, hospice volunteer. This guy's Zen. Me, not so much. I was really interested in it because I wanted to see, could I train myself to go from a state of panic into a state of calm? And could I sit in a safe situation, namely an ice cold barrel of water, and breathe myself into a state of calm when the situation around me was freaking my body out? And so the answer is yes, you can. And it has helped immensely. And so I'm going to give this to Chris because he's going to film me as I go out here. So we're going to step outside, everybody, to, oh God, it's cold, to Vermont. Okay. Welcome to Southern Vermont. Okay. So here's the barrel. So one of the things, oh my God, you filled this up, Chris? Chris put it to the top. Shit. Okay. So the thing is that there's like there's 3 actual benefits in terms of anxiety. So number 1, every morning when I wake up, I know that I'm going to climb in this when I'm here in Vermont. And I already dread it. How many of you have things that you dread in life? That you think about it and you immediately feel that wave of, oh, I don't want to. So simply knowing that there's something that I'm going to force myself to do that I don't want to do, and feeling that wave of resistance in my body and having the just willpower to push through it, the personal commitment that I'm going to do it, even though I don't want to, that's breakthrough number 1. Because that same resistance of, oh, I don't want to, is what used to keep me in bed in the morning, feeling anxious and letting my thoughts spiral. So simply just saying to myself, I'm going to freaking do this, even though I don't want to. I'm going to finish my shower with a going cold, even though I don't want to. That's breakthrough number 1. And these are skills that you can use everywhere, everybody. And if you get questions, Chris, just hammer me with them. Breakthrough number 2 is when you actually get dressed and now you're out here. My feet are freezing. There's still snow on the ground. It's probably 40 degrees here. I'm standing here without a jacket on. My husband has on a hat and a vest. And pushing through and climbing in is breakthrough number 2. Breakthrough number 3, when it comes to taking control and healing my trauma and my dysregulated nervous system, and learning that I can in any situation flip from a state of stress and anxiety into a state of, okay, I'm okay. Soothing myself. It's a superpower. And so what you're going to witness is you're going to witness me climbing in there. And the second I climb in, it's fucking freezing. And so you're going to see me tense up for real. And then I'm going to blow out the air and submerge down to here. And here's one more thing. A lot of you are asking, but I have Raynaud's, but my hands get cold. I have Raynaud's, which is a circulatory issue that's related to arthritis. I didn't want to try this because I was afraid that my hands would get even worse, that the numbness would get worse. It's actually getting better by safe cold exposure. So I'm going to climb in here. You're going to watch me breathe through this. And then Chris, you can have them ask questions. And I'm going to stay in there for a minute. Okay. You don't have to be a superhero. You don't have to do it for 10 minutes. Just simply knowing that you've made A, the promise to do this and dreading it. That's breakthrough 1. B, stepping into that shower or that tub or stepping outside. That's breakthrough 2. 3, feeling the pressure and the wave of anxiety hit you and breathing through it. That's breakthrough number 3. Every single one of those, you are building the muscle, everybody, of knowing that you can stand in discomfort, you can feel resistance, you can feel waves of anxiety, and you have it within you
to get yourself through it. All right, here we go. Yes, I'm dreading this. This is really full. Why did you have to fill this up?
You're just going to press it all out. It's all good.
I've never seen it this full, you guys. Like, my heart's racing. I do this all the time, and every time I go in, I know it's going to suck. That's one of the things about this. You never turn on the cold water in a shower. It feels good. Do we have a question?
So one question is, do you breathe through your nose or your mouth?
I breathe through my nose. I would watch the videos, but I breathe through my nose, 8 seconds, breathe out. But I breathe out of my mouth to get in. Okay, here we go. Because now I'm starting to feel a major wave of anxiety.
Other people are anxious for you.
Anxiety spreads. Anxiety spreads. Okay, okay, here we go. Holy shit. Holy shit. Okay, I feel like... No, it's not warm. It's freezing.
I think everybody is shocked. They have no questions for you at the moment. One question is, where'd you get the barrel? And you can see right here,
Okay.
The brand is Ice Barrel. You can find it online. Another question is it easier the longer you're in?
No.
Can't you get a cold from this?
I don't know. I don't know if you can get a cold from it. What I'm experiencing is my hands and my feet are tingling. My skin feels super tingly, like pinpricks all over it.
When in chronic pain, how long do you do this for?
I don't know. I think you need to talk to your doctor.
My understanding is that anything between 2 and 5 minutes is maximum required, because after 5 minutes the value sort of dissipates.
I've actually never been in it longer than 4. I typically stay about 90 seconds. What happens the longer you stay is that you're like, when I first got in, you guys, there was this moment when I was in labor with our first daughter where the contractions were so scary and my heart was racing and my mind started to spin. And I thought, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. And thankfully, the videos.
Is it hard to calm your breath?
In the beginning it is, but as you noticed, I went from really labored breathing in and out of my nose to signal to my body that I'm okay and to shut my fucking mind off.
How come you are not shivering? That's your breath controlling your body, right?
I'm shivering in the water a little bit. But did you guys notice that like 30 seconds in, I went from like really labored breathing to being pretty calm? I mean, I'm not enjoying this, but my body's calm. I don't feel any anxiety. I feel discomfort. I mean, it's freaking freezing in here, and I'm starting to shake a little bit, but I'm not feeling a wave of anxiety. My heart's not racing. My thoughts are basically at the mountain. Like, look at that view, you guys.
Yes.
And so I'm shaking and I'm cold. I'm really cold, but I'm not scared. And I'm not like, I gotta get out of here, I gotta get out of here, Even saying that made my heart race. Let me get back calm again.
Been in for a while.
Any more questions? 90 seconds is plenty. 90 seconds is enough for me.
Would you have a hot bath now?
I would love one. But I don't need a hot bath.
Is it okay to do a cold shower before bedtime?
Oh my gosh, you get a great night's sleep.
It's the best before bed.
I think a cold shower, honestly, everybody, is harder than this. Because only having my head or my shoulders hit the cold water feels like my pins. Now I'm shaking.
What do you do after? Why don't you show them what you do after when you climb out?
Here we go.
Whoa!
I feel like we need like a rail. Because
Yeah.
I do feel shaky. Now, you kind of get in a horse stance to get the blood back in here, and then you wave your arms around to get the blood flowing. Because all the blood went to like my heart and my brain to try to keep me warm. And I'm getting the circulation going again.
Activate.
Now see how red my arms are? That's the blood coming back in. And ironically, I'm kind of warm. Let's go inside because I need to get a towel. Woo! Do you have any other questions? Other questions while I'm soaking wet? Other questions?
How many minutes for a beginner?
I tried to just do for a minute. Not in the shower. For the shower, I did 30 seconds. The first time Chris and I did it, though, you guys, we did it with like in a workshop. So they wanted us to go 90 seconds. But if you have a friend there supporting you, try to go for a minute. And I didn't bring my hands down for a long time, but now I put my hands down and I shove them in between my thighs, which are basically like meat mittens. I just keep them warm down there.
There's a lot of questions about can you have a heart attack, and if I had open heart surgery, can I do this?
You have to talk to your doctor, everybody. If you have any concern about your health or your heart or stroke or any kind of health condition, please talk to your doctor, and please do this with somebody who's supervising you, who's been trained in cold exposure therapy, to be safe.
Is it okay to do this daily, like therapy?
Yeah. Like a meditation practice. I literally just did yoga, and then I finish my exercise by going in there for 90 seconds. And I hate it every time, but every time I do it, I literally access this switch inside of me.
Why is your skin red?
I think my skin is red because when you feel waves of anxiety, or you're in a really stressful or fight or flight or emergency situation, your body sounds an alarm, okay? And if your thoughts start to spin, your blood goes to your major organs, to your brain so you can hyper focus and pay attention, and to your heart so that you can run faster. And so when I get out, I believe that my arms are red because the blood is starting to come back and circulate through my body again. And so one of the reasons why this is important is because, again, there are good reasons why you have anxiety and waves of anxiety. When you feel a wave of anxiety before a test, for example, or before a big interview, and you get nervous and you feel that sort of that alarm go through your body, your heart races, your armpits sweat, and you're like focused on everything, it's because right before an interview or right before a test, your body's sounding alarm. Hey, this is important. Pay attention. When I step into that ice cold water, which is literally about 34 degrees, the second you get into cold water, it could be life-threatening. So your body sounds an alarm. Hey, it's important. Pay attention. Do not stay in here long. And so the blood goes from your digestive tract and from your limbs to your heart and to your brain because it's trying to keep you alive. When I started to breathe, and as you watch the video, if you're just joining us now, if you go back, you'll watch me. I get in, I have a wave of anxiety because I'm in ice cold water. So my body sounds the alarm, get out, this is dangerous. I submerge, and then I breathe myself into a state where I'm telling my body I'm okay.
And by breathing in, I go about 8 seconds in through my nose and 8 seconds out through my nose. It also quiets the racing thoughts. When I climbed into that barrel, you guys, my mind was like, get out, get out, get out, get out. This is cold, this is cold, this is cold. Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. It's sounding the alarm. As long as I'm focused on my breathing, my thoughts aren't racing. It's pretty amazing how this is a technique you can use to take control. And I think even without the cold exposure, when your thoughts are racing, put your hands right here on your vagus nerve. This is an on-off switch between your fight-or-flight nervous system and your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the calm, cool, grounded in your body nervous system. Put your hands right here and just breathe in 8 seconds. And then I usually say 3 sentences. I'm okay, I'm safe, I'm loved. And if you just keep doing that over and over, breathing in and breathing out to interrupt the racing thoughts, pressing on the vagus nerve to signal to your body that you want your resting nervous system to flip back on. And if you say, I'm okay, I'm safe, I'm loved, in that moment, it's true. All right, I think that's it. Any other questions?
How's the Raynaud's when you get out?
Normally when I grocery shop, my hands turn white. And my Raynaud's has gotten better because of this. I never would have believed it. I'm the kind of person that literally, guys, when I reach in and grab French fries out of the freezer at the supermarket and I pull it out, my fingertips are numb. When I hike or ski, my toes are white. I was just in 34-degree water and they're red. They're not white.
Will you take a hot shower now?
Probably, just to rinse off quickly and get into the day.
But there's no value or need necessarily, or that's not part of the practice?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, you feel warm and you get this like adrenaline rush. If you've ever jumped in cold water, I grew up on Lake Michigan in Western Michigan, and they used to cut a hole in the ice and do these polar plunges for charity. When you jump into cold water, your whole body's like, woo! And so you get this like adrenaline rush. And so I wouldn't need to, but I just kind of want to rinse myself off. That's all.
I think the last question that has come up a lot probably for people in warm climates is, how do you prepare the ice?
Well, what you could do is just run your bathtub to cold. And if you want to like make it really, really ice, just buy a bag of ice at the gas station and throw it in there. But honestly, just freaking tap water that's cold is cold enough. And you'll be surprised. And in your nose and out your nose. And final thing, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I'm a woman on a mission to literally live an amazing life, to stop feeling such sadness and negativity and heaviness in my mind and my body, and to really experience more joy and ease. And I'm just sharing everything that's working for me, everything that I'm learning as I research, as I experiment with you, in the hopes that I can save you some of the heartache and headache that I have caused myself because I didn't know any better. And that's it. I love you. I'm so glad you're here. And in case nobody else tells you, I love you. And I believe in you and your ability to heal yourself, to achieve your dreams, to create a life that you love. And that's why I'm here every day by your side, doing the same thing. All right. High five. Hey, it's Mel. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed that video, by God, please subscribe, because I don't want you to miss a thing. Thank you so much for being here. We've got so much amazing stuff coming. Thank you so much for sending this stuff to your friends and your family. I love you. We create these videos for you. So make sure you subscribe. Mwah.